definition of the variety, they give fantastic definition of the site, and that's why people are so interested in old vines. On the palate, I guess it's looking for silk and it's looking for sort of texture. Being relatively young wine, we are looking for some firmness of tannin, but it is still really important that it's highly drinkable and highly delicious at this point in time. One of the things about tannin in Pinot Noir is that you can still produce Pinot Noir, with tannin, and that's a really important feature of its maturation, potential. In terms of production, new oak is very important in this particular, blend of wine. We're up around 55% new, brand new French barriques. Whereas with Chardonnay, something like this, we're interested in no new oak. We're more interested in the character of the vineyard. But with Pinot Noir, one of the interesting things about Pinot Noir is that it really does love the combination of new oak and the variety. And it's really important, though, that you can't actually taste or smell the new oak, that it really should be fully integrated with the fruit characters. So the Syrah is the last of the reserve wines we're going to try today. We've called it Syrahs on purpose because Syrah is actually the same variety as Shiraz, but we think because we're trying to make such a different style to differentiate it sort of away from Australian Shiraz that is perhaps a bit more rich and a bit more intense in flavour, we're looking to try and describe it a little differently and call it Syrah, because it is highly aromatic and perhaps, as I said with the Shiraz Viognier, a bit more feminine, a bit more like Pinot Noir. So one of the sort of main differences with the production of this wine to a lot of Australian Shiraz is the inclusion of whole bunches. We think the inclusion of whole bunches is really important in expressing this particular site, and it really gives quite unique, highly peppered sort of characteristics from our hill site, which is sort of that single vineyard site planted in 1971 and is about 4 acres in size. So on the nose, it really does express a lot of sort of white pepper characteristics, but there's some underlying characters of stem and whole berry fermentation that really make it quite distinctive wine. A lot of the international people that we've had come through here can't believe that this wine is actually Australian. They really think that it does taste a bit more like Northern Rhone sort of characteristics. On the palate, we're looking for texture and softness, and again that deliciousness that I was talking about with Pinot Noir. It really is an important characteristic of the styles of wine that we make sort of throughout our red range. In summary about these sort of 3 wines is really they need to be very, very individual, and they need to represent their site and they need to represent season. All 3 of them are really quite delicate wines and all have amazing texture.